Hey guys, it's time for another camera sample. So this time it's the Coolpad Cool Changer 1C. Strange name, but it's actually quite a good phone. So before I talk about camera quality and show you a bit of it, first one should know some things about this phone. So this is a collaboration between Echo and Coolpad, so it's also called Cool Echo sometimes. So both companies actually worked on this phone, and it's not the first phone they did. So what does this mean? So hardware is from Coolpad and software is from Echo. So this phone runs the EUI custom ROM. And camera application actually is pretty good. I mean, lots of you probably already know the camera application inside EUI, but it really got beefed up for this phone. I think it's the same as on the Cool One Dual, which is a dual camera. So we have an extensive manual mode, which doesn't only allow you to control contrast and white balance and all that stuff, but you also can do manual focus and shutter time or exposure time, which really comes handy. You can, I guess, up to 10 seconds of exposure time is possible with this one, so you can do great low light photography. So that's pretty neat. So what camera sensors do we have inside? So front camera is an 8 megapixel unit with wide angle lens, and as you can see, this supports full HD video recording, which is nothing you see too often even these days, especially in the lower price ranges. We are at around 160 euros here with this phone. And the rear camera is a 13 megapixel unit based on a Sony IMX 258 sensor. So in case you don't know the sensor, this one has been used in a couple of Xiaomi Mi 4C devices, and it also has been used in the Elephone P9000, where obviously it didn't perform too well because of bad lenses, while the sensor itself is pretty good. So we have a good camera sensor inside of there with PDAF, fast shutter times and everything, and it has an f2.0 aperture. So my experience with this sensor is that it does good pictures. They are not on high-end level, but for the price range they are like top notch. This is one of the best cameras I've seen so far in the sub 200 bucks price range, especially when it comes to low light performance. It isn't necessarily the best low light performance you get with just point and shoot, but if you really do the manual settings and stuff, you can get really nice results with this one. So I really like the camera on this phone. So let's switch over to the rear camera now, and let's see how well it performs with 4K recording. So let's go. So there you have it. This is recorded using the rear camera in 4K mode. And as you can see, it's not completely steady. So we have some shaking in the picture, which means there is no full image stabilization, but still it's somehow stabilized. I mean, if I move it around heavily a bit, you see it does try to filter the movement out a bit, but it doesn't manage to fully do so. So what about quality? Well, it's actually a bit hard to judge it just on the phone screen, but it does look pretty good. I mean, all those trees here, they look pretty fine. So it's good. So let's check out this sign. Does also look crisp and clear. On the screen, on the preview, I see a bit of stuttering in the video, but I guess that's just the preview and won't be visible in the final video. What about direct sunlight? You see, it handles this pretty well. We don't have too much annoying lens flares, just a tiny little bit. Picture doesn't get foggy or something, still nice and clear. I like that. And as you notice, the autofocus does work pretty good as well. I don't need to do a lot of tap to focus, I just hold it on what I want to get sharp, and it does get sharp, well, almost reliably. Let's try with some leaf here. Huh? There we go. So I can't come too close, but like 15 centimeters away is fine. So autofocus does work well on this one, and it, by the way, doesn't on the previously tested Echo S3, which is even more expensive, by the way. So yeah, video performance is pretty good. Alright, so I just rewatched the samples I took with this phone. Regarding audio quality, I'm quite satisfied with it. I mean, voice is clearly understandable, it filters out wind noise and background noises pretty accurately. It's crisp and clear, it maybe lacks a little bit of bass or depth, but besides of that, it's pretty good in terms of audio quality. But there's a thing that stood out which I dislike, so let me show that just in case it's visible in the ready video. I don't know if it is, I just know it is visible when I watch those videos on the phone. So what am I talking about? It's actually the quality of the rear camera in 4K mode. So as you see, we have a pretty good quality now. But as soon as I'm moving the phone, details get washed out, which looks like the bitrate of 4K videos is too low to cover those heavy changes in the pictures, which means they get, well, a bit grainy, you see fractals and such stuff. But I only know by now, because I only watched the videos on the phone, that it looks like this on the phone. I don't know if it is the ready video as well, so I definitely need to watch this on the computer too before I can do a final judgment on this. But if the ready video on the PC really looks like it does on the phone, I mean 4K would be rather useless if you do moving pictures. Like if you do just steady shots without much movement in the pictures, it's fine quality wise, but as soon as you do movements you get just a colorful mud, which is kind of pointless to do 4K videos with then. So yeah, need to check that out. Doesn't look too promising. So I am now back in the office and I just watched the samples I recorded again on the computer, and as it turns out, what I suspected is true. The bitrate of the 4K videos is just too low, so as soon as you have faster movements or lots of changed stuff in your pictures, you just get blurry and details and fractals, and it just doesn't look too good. So that definitely should be improved with some optimized codec.